Hello, it's Haven again. So I thought about the fact of, well, after I put my video up the other day, I did put a little PayPal comment on there to support my art. Well, I thought about it. I haven't showed you guys really what I've done except for just that first video. So I decided I would take a moment and share it with you. I have been pouring since about June 2018, so just about a year now. Here's one of the first ones I did on the flat canvases. I got inspired by watching Mixed Media Girl. She's really awesome. She's one of the first ones I really watched videos about doing it, and decided it was something I could try and used what I had around the house. Didn't spend a lot of money to try it to start with, but here is some stuff I did, and yeah, I'm going to share it with you. This one I did as a dip and then embellished it with the heart. This is one of my first ones because when I first started doing it, I used glue, like just regular Elmer School glue, because it's what I had on hand, and a blow dryer to pop bubbles. Well, I kind of noticed, not so much on this one, but I do have a couple others, that the paint crackled it. But this was one I did with a leftover pour, and I am going to embellish on it because I found little mushrooms in it and different things. One thing though I noticed with these canvases, they like to wobble and warp when they're wet, so they will end up being framed when done. Here's one I did as another dip. Seahawks colors. I have a lot of Seahawks football fans in my family. I'm not one of them, but I do have a lot of them. And here's another one I did. And here's one with the example of using the glue and the blow dryer made things crackle. So I should have realized it and thought about it, because I've done glue and paint things in the past for craft stuff that I know crackle, and that's what you do to make the paint crackle. Here's another Seahawks dip one. And these are going to be getting embellished with like the 12th man thing, and end up probably being Christmas presents for those people in my family that like the Seahawks. This one, I did the gray pour on it first, and then I went and dripped the white paint, the blue and the purple on it, and then blew it around with the straw a little bit. This was a leftover paint one. And this one, you can see the paint really cracked with it as it dried and after doing the blow dryer on it. And we have this one. This one turned out really good to start with, and it all looks like this part. Till my little man put his hand in the middle of it, said "Dry, Mama," and it was not dry. So I re-poured over it, and this part cracked a little bit with the glue, and as mixing for me a minute with the mega pour. And then we have this one, my rainbow, and again it cracked a little bit here with the glue in it. I have not tried using the glue all before, but it is something I'd be willing to do. I have now started using Floetrol and stuff versus the glue, so it doesn't crack like that. And here are some more of my first tries. This one is one I'm going to be embellishing on, and it is sprayed, that's why it's shiny. But my daughter knows there's a unicorn and a dragon and a little ninja dude and a frog. This one I'm going to play with and embellish on. This one I have, and I want to say I used silicone in this one. I think it was one of my first ones to use silicone, because it's usually the shape the cells make for the silicone. And this one also had glue in it too, because there are some little cracks in it. And this one I did a mix of a dirty pour and then did some of a clean pour on it to get more of the definition of the shapes, or the colors, shapes, colors. And I have this one, and this is another one with glue in it because it did crack on me. And this one I decided to play around with a little bit. I painted the canvas pink. Piper, no, lay down. I painted the canvas pink first, and then did the pour on it, just to kind of leave a little bit of a negative space in it. But I want to say this is probably one of the first ones I started using the Floetrol with, or just the silicone in, because of the cells I got on it. Here's another one. I really like how this one turned out. Haven't quite decided if I'm embellishing anything on it or not. And here is another one. This one I used some older paints to try it, and it kind of came out really thick and kind of lumpy in some spots, but it still looks kind of neat. Then we have this one. It was one of the first ones I did through a fruit juicer strainer, and it was kind of fun to do. And here's one of my first ones too that I did after I started getting the other canvases. And again, it's with the glue in it, and you can really tell that I cracked there. And this one, I had some leftover paint and just felt like playing with it. Had some with silicone in it, and probably not done with it. Might re-pour over this, but I do kind of like how it looks. Be a good one to experiment with. Oh, and I am doing 2 parts of this video to show you my work because I noticed my camera only likes to go about 10 minutes and then stop on me. Now this one is one of my favorites. I did it through this. I am not sure how I got lucky enough for it to turn out this way, but it is one of my favorites that I did. Now this starts pretty much into things that I've done and started using the Floetrol and different little methods on how to do things. This one. And this one does have glow in the dark in it. I've got a thing for glow in the dark, and so does my kids. So I do work with the glow in the dark paint in some of my stuff at times. And we have this one, and this one I also did do through the strainer. And this one I'm thinking of embellishing on because that kind of looks like a bird. So I'm going to play with that a little bit. This one I did as leftover paints, and there is glow in the dark in it. I believe the pink, the blue, and maybe the green have glow in the dark in it, and I'm going to embellish something on this as well. And I have this one, and I believe I put silicone in with this one along with the Floetrol too. And there's this one. This one, I just wanted to kind of try something different with colors and got really good cells out of this. Just did the Floetrol in it. Didn't have any silicone in this one. And this one I had it blue, and then I had just a little bit of green pour on it. I re-poured over it, and it actually turned out pretty good. And this one here, yeah, it's kind of dark. Probably going to embellish on it a bit, but it's mostly glow-in-the-dark paints with a little bit of black in it. Well, the black really came through on it, but it does have some neat little cells in it. And this one, I was trying to do springy colors and practicing a little bit, but my Floetrol had little chunks in it, and I did strain the whole bottle. They are now gone. So this one's probably getting embellished because it does have, you can see it, that it's got little raised spots on it, but it did end up with some really cool looking cells in it. And I have this one. I poured this through a cup. I put little holes in the bottom of it and let the paint mix paint really thin and let it pour through, and this is what I ended up with on it. Well, I am almost at the end of my time limit for this video on my camera. So this again is part 1, and I will be showing you more in part 2. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to laugh, and the next one's coming up here in just a moment. Thank you.